Thank you for joining me today. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself, your name, your brand, and what you're working on?
Sure. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I'm Brice Ciener. I'm with Roasters and Toasters. We're a New York style deli out of Miami. We have 5 locations. We stick a lot of breakfast, a lot of catering, obviously a lot of Nova and that kind of thing. So yeah.
Awesome. And we met last year, I guess, at a
in Texas.
Chip Close B3 conference in Texas.
Yep.
Yeah, and you guys are growing. You're having a great time.
Yes, absolutely. We're having a great time. We're going with the flow of the economy and the amount of employees that come and go. So
Yeah. Well, that was one of the things I wanted to talk with you a little bit about today. So we're focused a little bit on operations and workforce management. So tell us a little bit about where you're seeing the labor market right now.
labor in general is always been hard in the restaurant industry.
Right.
But I would definitely say that now it's a little bit more fluid. People come and go easier than what they used to go, whether they're leaving us or we're having them leave us. So it's important that we are always looking and always hiring, because once you're understaffed, it's too late. You're already in the hole.
It's hard to dig back out of that. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so maybe you could share a couple of tactics you guys have picked up. Is it the same as pre-COVID? Has it changed a lot in the last 5 years?
It's definitely changed, and it seems to keep changing. I would say out of COVID, it was more of a restaurant world where people were just wanting jobs anywhere. They were coming in, and I would say now it's a little bit easier for them, so they have more choices out there. I would say the hardest thing is getting the word out to a lot of people that we employ, like for restaurants, that we're hiring, because they aren't people that aren't on Indeed. We're hiring a lot of, whether it's the younger generation or just people that aren't tech savvy, that's not going to have an Indeed. To find a busser, for example, or a dishwasher is extremely hard.
Right.
And we stick to a lot of the Craigslist type ads when it comes to that.
Okay.
Management and stuff like that will go into Indeed or those kind of things. But yeah, just getting people word out there, word of mouth from our staff. Hey, we're hiring, get people out there, anybody from other companies.
That's interesting. Do you guys offer any sort of like a retention bonus for somebody who's been there for a long time? Or do you offer perhaps a hiring deal? Like if you refer a friend, you have a referral bonus?
We've done that before in the past for a referral bonus if somebody stayed 90 days. We aren't doing that currently. I know that a lot of times when we do hire somebody on, we'll start them at one wage, and if they stick out for 90 days, then it can lead to a higher wage than what they started with, to try to retain that person a little bit longer.
That's a fantastic tactic. We've seen that work really well. You mentioned a couple of things about retention. You mentioned finding and hiring. Are you finding maybe the current upcoming generation, the folks who are, say, under 25, are you having to work with that age group differently than others?
Absolutely. And I think from a management standpoint, my GMs and managers, there are a lot of the Gen Xers, the generation right after Gen X, to where they think different than the Gen Z that's coming right in. And so they expect, you're going to come to an interview in a nice outfit or something. And no, we're having employees or future employees come in and they're wearing flip-flops.
Right.
Or, granted, we're in Miami, but still, you don't go to an interview in a flip-flop. And a lot of them, I can't work this and I can't work that. When you're a restaurant, you're telling them you can't work the weekends. It's kind of like, what are you talking about type of a thing.
That drives me towards the question a little bit about scheduling. Are you having to accommodate a lot of unique schedules? And
we do, and I think we need to get better at it.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard to get some of the older team members that we have, they're used to a set schedule.
Okay.
They want to work, their set schedule every week so they can plan their life. We try to get the schedule's posted at least a week in advance, which can be challenging also because of the other ones that are saying, I can't work here, I can't work there, and that kind of thing. And there's not as many, like for our staff, we can have anywhere from 6 to 7 servers on some of our floors down to only 2 servers on our floor. So it's harder to maneuver those people around. But I would say scheduling wise, the older team members, they know they're going on vacation or they need a day off, 2 months in advance.
Right.
Where the new ones, hey, tomorrow I've got
That's right.
a thing that I got a doctor's appointment with. And we all know they made that doctor's appointment a long time ago.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, it gets challenging for sure when it comes to those two things.
Yeah, labor's always been interesting to me in this industry. We've had product in market since 2007,
Right.
and it's an evergreen topic because
Right.
as new folks come into the market and there's new challenges. One of those that we hear a lot about from our operators is training. And to your point, you get fast turnover, which means you've got to really hit the ground running with training so that they get up to speed as fast as possible. How are you guys tackling that?
Well, we have a pretty good training system. Our training involves, we have back of the house and front of the house training. Our front of the house is definitely a hardcore 5-day focused training where they have specific things they have to do the first day, test the follow-up the next day, second day, and so forth all the way through. And by day 2 or 3, if they're not making it already on those tests that we did, we know they're not serious about it, so we try to cut our losses early.
Yeah.
But I find with the training, they just want to start making money now.
Right.
Right now. They want to know, how much am I going to make today?
Right.
I mean, and we use Toast and we use Sling. They can see on their Toast card sometimes how much they made. And if it's not right, even if everything hasn't processed all the way through, they're coming to us about that aspect, especially the new people when we first hire them on. Getting them to understand this is how it works is a challenge as well. But if they make it out of training, I think we need to continue training past that.
Yeah.
Because they didn't absorb everything in that first 5 days or the line cook. So it's a constant go back around. In the restaurant world, you know that managers are busy with everything.
Yeah.
So remember that you hired this person a week ago and they need to refocus on, whatever their drink section or something.
Right.
It can be challenging for even the managers.
Yeah, for sure. So you're doing training, you're looking at possibly, I think the term for that might be micro training, right? Going forward and how you continually do the continuous improvement.
We do, and actually on the micro train, we just did a 15-day script and a 12-day script, which is something we started.
Okay.
And it was a way that we wanted servers to approach guests and a way that we wanted them to not say you have to say it exactly this way, but this was the idea behind what it needs to say when you get to a table. And we did that first 15 days. This is what you're all doing for 15 days straight. And then we built on top of that onto a 21-day thing. So I was trying to get it to stay in first, because originally I was going, let's do all of it. All in one. No, we're going to break this up into 2 categories and everything. And so that's what we did. And now that 15-day and the 21-day is now part of the core training package for anybody that comes in. So we're doing our basic menu knowledge and stuff like that, but then you also have scripts that you go into when you get to the table. And getting those to understand that this is what you're supposed to say at a table instead of just being an order taker is extremely hard, especially with the younger.
Right. Yeah. It's a challenge, right?
Yeah.
It's the running joke I used to have as a consultant many years ago was, if it wasn't for these employees and these customers, like, business would be easy, right?
Yeah. For sure.
So let's just pretend that somebody is coming into your type of a role. Someone's in the operations role, they're senior leader, brand new at the role. What's 1 or 2 things that they could hit the ground running and go, hey, I'm going to make these changes immediately, or I'm going to look at these things? What's the first thing you would tell somebody in that role?
That's a good question. I think that coming in, I know that when we even look for our GMs, we're looking for those philosophies that they may have as a manager, to where we know that they're going to already be on top of what I call the basics. Like, you're going to be on time, you're going to be in the uniform, you're going to be the one to make sure everybody else, you're not going to turn a blind eye type of a thing. I can teach them our system in our restaurant all day long.
Yeah.
But if you're not focused on those things, then your employees are just going to walk all over the whole scenario. So, and I know that's a little short. Believe it or not, I have to make sure they have to know how to do Excel or Word, or I sit down at a computer and type. I mean, these things are, I'll get even GMs in that I'll be like, I should ask them this during an interview, but like, can you do these things? Because it becomes complicated when they sit down and they can't even pull up an email or something like that. And I'm just like, you know, you want to go, what?
Yeah. Well, we ask a lot from the GMs these days, right? You gotta manage 5 or 6 pieces of software, 10 or whatever the case may be. You need to be an expert at ordering. You need to be an expert at scheduling. You need to know all the HR tasks, right? I mean, there's so much that gets asked of a GM these days. And since COVID, that tenure of the GMs has drastically dropped, right? We've seen in the industry. And so, just like a frontline worker, you've got to get them up to speed quickly. And one of the buzzy topics this year is AI. How are you guys seeing that? How are you thinking about it?
AI is a great tool. Toast has got a built-in AI with their system. marquee that we use
Yeah.
has a lot of AI stuff
Yeah.
involved with that.
Yeah, they just released some new stuff.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And Ovation also. And we're very particular with our managers, and I've had to coach them a lot when they want to use that automatic AI answer.
Yeah.
To
Interesting.
say it looks script, it sounds very scripted, it sounds very AI. You need to customize a little bit, make sure we're using, what the person's talking about, making sure that you're using employee names, even like if they're talking about, oh no, our deli crew there is run by so-and-so or whatever,
Yeah.
they'll take care of you next time you're here, ask for me, all those things that the AI just isn't putting in there. So, because it's really, we want them to answer those ovations quickly.
Yes.
So it's really easy for them to push that AI button to give that automated response, but then I'll get it. I see them all on my phone, obviously,
Right.
and I let them do all the answering. I don't do it for them. I
Okay.
make the GMs do those, and I'll get them, and I'll just like, that sounds so
Sounds AI.
It
right,
sounds
yeah.
so AI. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, and I'll text them in the background, and I'll be saying, please, you need to not do it that way, type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's really interesting. I was at the Google influencer event we had a couple days ago.
Okay.
Here in Chicago, and one of the things they were showing off was their new Gemini product and the integrations with all the Google My Business and reviews and all maps. And so one of the interesting things they brought in was like you could ask it questions. You could query and say, "Hey, tell me a little bit about what should I do to improve my Google My Business?" And one of the other folks in the room said, "Hey, why does Google not just have an AI agent that would tell me what to do?" And the answer was really interesting. The answer was, well, if we do that, it's just going to kind of average all the great things together, and it's going to sound like AI. It doesn't sound like your brand, and it doesn't sound local, like you're pillars of the community, right? You're hiring from the local community, you're training, you're providing soft skills, you're doing all the things to be good citizens of the community. Do you think that's part of the strategy? Is that part of your strategy to go, hey, we're influencing the local community?
Absolutely. We're very community driven, and that's using any kind of AI tool is going to take away from that community driven stuff. So that's why we don't want to answer that way. And a large base of our guests and customers that do caterings with us, like our catering manager, she knows them like that. She knows exactly what they want ahead of time. Our servers have a very dedicated following of people that came in. And the moment we answer with one of those AIs, they're going to know it's not us.
Right.
Because they know us already.
Right.
And the systems that we use, it shows the past usage of that customer, that guest that's ordered all those times. And that we know that, hey, they said something about this, they complained about this, they said something good about this. So if we're not following back on that, then that also makes it show like we're not like real and sincere.
Right. Yeah. No, I love that. I'm going to ask one last question, just kind of the hot seat, quick fire. If you could do one thing to fix a piece of your business and could do it like, hey, this is my day one, I'm making the change today. What's the one thing you would want to fix about your business?
I think it actually comes more in the realm of a marketing question.
Yeah.
I think that there's so many options out there, and there's so much Google information out there. That it's very hard to stay on top of. I mean, one of our owners, David, he is constantly on board with all of that stuff to make sure that we're at the top of the list. But I think somehow getting it out there because we still get those people that say, oh, what's Roasters and Toasters? Even though we've been there since 1984, we're a part of that community for a long time. We have 5 locations. So I think that finding a way to get more information out there to make us even a bigger household name would be my focus, because driving guests in, because like I said, there's so many choices.
Yeah.
People can always get lunch anywhere or breakfast anywhere. And we want to drive home our value and our brand.
Right. No, I love that. Yeah. I mean, that's one of those core philosophies, right? More people on the top of the funnel, more guests, right? And then controlling the labor costs and the COGS.
And the HR part of that, we're doing so much right now. I don't know if I had a magic wand.
Yeah.
My magic wand would just make incoming people a little bit smarter with the technology we're already using.
I gotcha.
That it's complicated to train. Like you said, there's so many different levels of computer systems that we use, and to get them on board and to understand hiring. We go through Toast Payroll. It's a simple process. You send the email to the people, they fill it out. You'd be surprised the amount of employees that don't have email still.
Yeah.
And that's crazy to me. Like, that's just like not a thing. And I've had to sit down with an employee and help them create an email just so we can go through that function of it, which is just, it's crazy.
It is crazy.
That magic wand would just get everybody to the 21st century.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. The number of employees that change their email, change their text messaging. We often at TimeForge become the system of record because in store, like, somebody's changed their cell phone or they're using a buy now, pay here kind of plan, and the cell phone's changed 3 times since you hired them, and then they can't get their W-2, and then and then you can't tell them, hey, the parking lot's got a problem, we're closed today, or whatever it is.
Absolutely.
And it suddenly becomes an issue real fast.
For sure. Absolutely.
Another one of those things that I like to say, restaurant owners don't start restaurants because they want to deal with HR and payroll and accounting and roof repairs. They started restaurants because they want to serve food.
Exactly.
So
exactly, that's true.
Well, I appreciate you spending some time.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.